Oh, hi! Welcome to my crib. I had to do that, but in all seriousness, let me show you inside my brand new studio. So if you didn't see last week's video, you may have missed that I have a brand new studio and it is just my dream studio. I showed the process of setting it all up last week, from this being a damp garden room with no foundations that was just rotting from the floor up to everything that you see now. And this week I wanted to give you a in-depth tour. So what I'm using to organise different aspects of my office, how I'm choosing to organise things, what I've kind of set the different zones for. So if you just like a nosy at people's craft and office spaces, then this is the video for you. But also if you love organising, maybe you're a small business owner too, or you're looking for ways to organise your craft supplies, business supplies, I think a lot of people can get something out of this video. So without further ado, let's get started on the tour. Deciding what would go where in this office was a little bit tricky because all along the front there are windows plus down this right side. So there isn't a lot of uninterrupted wall space, but I've managed it. So there are doors this side and doors that side, and there are also lights both sides. If I back up here, you can see that we've had strip lights put in. There are 4 in here and they just give a nice cool light, and I painted it white, which I really love, and the electrician hid all the cables with this white trunking that gives a kind of industrial look, and I really love it. So that was what we went for there. But when we first come in, I've just got this little side table. I might change it for something different, but this is something I already had, and it's got a mesh Wi-Fi router on it. Before I explain that, I got this little yellow hanging plant yesterday, and I think it's the cutest thing ever, and I've never seen a yellow hanging basket before, so I just wanted to show you my plant. So one problem I had when I first moved in was the Wi-Fi. Obviously the router and everything was in the house, and my husband also works from home and his job requires really fast internet, and really faster internet than we're able to get at this house. So sometimes it can be a challenge balancing kind of both our needs. And last week when I was working in here, we did a speed test in here, and when he was actually doing stuff as well, I was getting like less than a megabyte per second as my download speed, which if you are techie at all, you will know is dire. So we looked at different options, and that's why I wanted to include this part. Is what we changed was to a mesh Wi-Fi system. So there are essentially multiple routers that all connect to each other. So he has one in his office, we have one kind of in the middle in the living area, and I have one here right by the door, and when we did a speed test yesterday, it was something like 40-50 megabytes per second. So it's made a massive difference just switching out the routers from the standard one we had from BT originally. So if that's a problem you have, if you have a garden office, I will link to this below and you can look into it more. So on to more of the fun stuff. This area is where the bulk of orders are done, where products are put together, put in their packaging, where products are stored. I wanted products stored as far away from the windows as possible because I didn't want anything to be faded by the sunlight. And so when you walk in, this is the area that you see, and I'll explain it to you in detail. So one thing to just bear in mind is I have done nothing yet with the cables, so please forgive me for messy cable management. It will be a project that I undertake at some point. But here we are. So we're now behind the desks. This is opposite where we just were. And I've got these 3 standing desks that are off Amazon. Well, they are sit-stand desks, so you can set them to any height. I actually have 8 of these throughout the office. I have 5 kind of over there that I will show you afterwards. And my thinking was that I could then put them in different configurations if I needed to, if this didn't work for me. or if I needed to be over here but sit down, be over there but stand up, etc. So I got some that are 1 metre wide and some that are 1.2 metres wide. So these are all 1.2 metres wide, and they have got the controls on them here, which I do keep leaning on accidentally, but if I needed to, I can raise it. I can also lower it, and you've got 4 programmable buttons there where you can program different settings. So I've already saved this particular standing height as one setting that I would use a lot. I have accidentally leant on it quite a few times, so I would recommend maybe attaching this slightly set back under the desk so that you don't keep leaning on it and the desk disappears while you're trying to work. They all also have a USB slot here, so because obviously all the desks are taking up plugs, if you just need something plugged in by USB to charge or whatever, then you can do that from here and it will power that. So that's really handy. So like I said, this is all my packing station, and so underneath the desk, this is carried over from the setup I had before. I got this shoe rack, I believe is from Argos. I will link everything in the description below, and I use it to house all my envelopes and boxes and packaging. I've got, this is just assorted tissue paper, then I've got some pink kind of small parcel boxes, my hard-backed envelopes. These are belly bands for planner inserts and notepads. Then moving further down, I've got my A6 boxes, A5 and A4, my tape runner down there, and then this is all backing board for prints and the cellophane bags, and then these are some large pink boxes. And so that works really well for me when I'm packing orders, because it means that everything is kind of, I can reach it, it's on hand, and it's just stored out of the way, and it makes use of that space under the desk. So I find that really, really handy. And these shoe racks are really inexpensive. Then up here on the desk, I've got my most used supplies for packing. So I'll show you what I've got up here. I've got this tape runner. It takes this paper tape which has glue on the back, but it's not activated until you wet it. So you put water in the well here and the tape rolls along and the water activates the glue, and then you just tear it and put it on the envelope. I might spray this at some point because it really bugs me that it's orange. I've seen since that there are pink ones, but I'm not going to rebuy it because it just feels wasteful, so it just lives on my desk. And this little pink file organiser I got from Amazon. It's wooden and it just slots together, and again it's really handy to house my packaging supplies. So on the bottom here I've got all paper bags that I would use to put stickers or little items in, and I've got all different colours, and I've got all different colours of A6 envelopes. These are leftover from Advents that I did ages ago. I had different coloured envelopes and then I've just got plain ones. I've got tiny little glassine bags for pins and key rings and things. My freebie print that I put in orders with info on the back. And then these are all stickers, so logo stickers, pricing stickers, anything that might need to go on packaging, they're all in there. And then on the top, I have my scales for weighing packages. I have a little tape runner here, which I usually put some of my washies on for packing orders. And then I've got my planner punch for punching inserts and just a sellotape roll at the back. And then next to it, I've got the other items that I find really useful for packaging. So this tape runner, I've got a roll of plastic-free tape on it, so I managed to find sellotape that is plastic-free for taping my prints, because I found that washi tape was making it look a bit messy on the back. However, this is plastic-free sellotape, so I feel better about that because all of my packaging is plastic-free. Then I have this clear acrylic organiser that has got a bunch of pens, 2 lots of scissors, pencils, notepads here for writing notes to customers, some freebie stickers, and also these little cards that I put in Etsy orders to let people know I do have my own website, and some of the prices are cheaper over there if they want to come and check out my own website. And then I've just got this little yellow tray that I picked up in the sale in Accessorize, and I thought I could use it both as photo prop but also just for housing little stickers and little bits and bobs that end up scattered around. And then yesterday I just went and got some plants to liven up the place. So I've got a little pink pot here with a little plant in. I do have a lamp here that I can kind of pull forward, pull wherever I need it if I need to add light to a specific thing. If I'm, say, peeling stickers or something that requires you to kind of concentrate in great detail, I can just light up a specific area, and it's great that it's on that moving arm. And then I just have some more plants and decoration on the end here. And then on this wall here, I have some decor that you will have seen me setting up last week. So I have a little sign here about loving black cockatoos, because I have a little black and white cockapoo, Maggie, who you'll probably see trotting about in some of the videos, but I've left her over in the house today. This lovely wooden letter here is from one of my patrons, Linda, and she gifted it to me when I moved house previously, and she got it made for me in kind of pink, blue and yellow, which is the colours I use for my business, but also my favourite colours. So I've been itching to get that back up on the wall, and I love that it makes a big statement on the wall. I will link the company that made it again in the description. And then on this wall here I have just a collection of prints, bookmarks and different things that I have either made myself, had from other small businesses, had as freebies. So again, I will link to all those companies below. They're all from small businesses, and I love having a small business wall for inspiration and just to add a pop of colour. And then the other thing I've got for decoration on this wall are these cork tiles that I've used to house my pins that I've got so far, and I have more of these, but I love that there's already room to grow on here, my pin collection. So I've got some from Cornflower Lane, A Mundane Life, Deli's Designs, Emily Harvey Art, Rebel Jones Design. These are all mine. And then this one's from OK Doodle, and these were from the Lady Gaga Chromatica tour that I went to, and you got a collection of these pins if you were in the VIP seats, which I was lucky enough to be in that section. So yeah, I love having all my pins up and displayed. And then the last thing on this wall is I have this, it's just like a towel rack, like a towel rail type thing from IKEA, with just white brackets and a wooden rail, and I use it to hang my tissue paper that's cut ready to pack orders. And I get these huge sheets, cut them in half, and I hang a load there, and then when it runs out I go and get some more, and it lasts forever. So again, I'll link that below. And then this wall houses the majority of the storage in my office, really. It's where I've got all my stock, all my materials for making products, and also some of my own personal craft supplies, because I also use this space as a craft space to do hobbies and fun stuff too, because why not? So I'm definitely a fan of putting things in containers and having things kind of grouped together in that way. I think it's a great way to organise things and keep things tidy. Even if things aren't super tidy within the container itself, you know where you're going for stuff. And I've been through with the label maker since you saw it last and made some little signage labels too for the boxes, as well as labelling different tubs and things. So I'll show you what we've got and how I've organised things. So firstly, in the middle here is where I wanted to put most of my stock. So on these two, I've got stock, and I wanted that to be the thing that was kind of easiest to reach. So further down, I've got planners and journals, and they're kind of double stacked. So planners, journals, notepads, and I've still got a few bundles left for the Busy Mind bundle. And then as I get more stock in, I just keep replenishing these shelves and kind of double stacking them. And that's just a really super easy way. I didn't feel the need to put those in containers and boxes. I feel like that would be harder actually to get those out, and they're neat and organised enough on their own. I did consider putting doors on these just to further protect from sunlight, but I thought that they were far enough back that that wouldn't be an issue and that this makes them much easier to access. In terms of building this storage wall, I actually used IKEA Pax wardrobes, and the reason that I use the wardrobes and not the bookcases is because I know that they have lots of different storage options in terms of the shelves and things. If I wanted to buy drawers for these, I could. So that's an option in the future. Currently, I've just got shelves. But the other thing is, sometimes when you buy a bookcase, it comes with 4 shelves, for example, and you can move where those shelves are, but that's it. Whereas with these wardrobes, you can buy as many shelves as you want and keep adding them in, and you can buy them individually. And so I wanted to do that to make the best use of space. I do still have a few shelves left over. I only have 2 or 3, so I'm not going to take them back. I'm just going to keep them, and then if I reorganise things, I can add more in. So that's my notepads. Then I have to thank the lovely Adele at Deli's Designs for the tip on these gorgeous yellow baskets. They are from Primark, and I think they were £1 each in clearance, and they're just like this. They fold down. They would if I wasn't trying to do it one-handed. There we go. They fold flat if you just want to store them like this, if you're not using them, or you want to transport them to events and so on. And also, once you have them up, there you go, they just clip together. Once you have them up, they do actually, there we go, stack together, and then they don't move. These little notches in the top here are what kind of grips onto the next one, and they clip together. But I've just got them in a single row, and I've got all my washi tapes in these, so I've got just clearance all in one, and then my different designs. This one in the end has got miscellaneous stock in that needs to actually be added to the shop. And then I've just got one of these pink containers here. They house my mini desk calendars, and that's just the perfect width for those. So again, I'll link where I got those from. And then I also really love these clear containers. Again, these are stackable. So if the time comes where I've got lots of different designs and things, I can actually double stack those, and because they're see-through, I can see what's in them. So I've just got my key rings, pocket hearts, and then on this shelf all of my enamel pin designs, and then I just have a few of these white tubs that I had previously, which I've got my smaller enamel pins in. They're just a great width for those. So again, they are obviously not stackable, which is why I prefer these clear ones, because you can just make more use of the space that way, and it's really good to be able to just immediately see through and grab what you need. Then further up here, I've got a row of boxes that just fold together, and the yellow ones were 2 for £7 from B&M, and they had all different colours. The grey ones actually came out of a storage unit that we previously had from Argos that we weren't using anymore, and so we just stored the frame in the garage, and I've been using the actual boxes out of it to store stuff. And on all the boxes and things, I've been making these signs so that I easily know what's in them. It also helps if someone else is here and I ask them to grab me something, which is very rare, but you never know. Particularly when the whole space is new to me and I can't remember what's what, it's been really handy. So this one has literally just got loads of plastic packaging that I've received items in that I will reuse. So like cellophane bags and things like that. If I'm sending a whole bunch of products to a shop or something, I just reuse those to keep like products together and make it easier for them, so that I'm not just throwing away a load of plastic waste. So it's just full of different sizes of plastic packaging. And the yellow ones are empty, and I'll add to those as we go. And then on the very top shelf, I have got organza bags, again for packaging various items, different labels for my thermal printer, different adhesives, glues, glue dots, tape runners, all sorts of things that I use in there. And then I've got 2 grey tubs here, again for packaging. This one has got spare backing cards for my pins. It's got care labels for my sleep masks, all different things like that. And then this one on the end has got these little document enclosed sticky pouches that I put on my boxes if it's a wholesale order and it's going overseas and I need to include the invoices and things. So you can see that most of what I use is at hand at the easier to reach levels, but everything is very easy for me to reach, particularly when it's things up the top. If it's a tub, I can quickly just pull that out and grab the tub and put it on my desk and get what I need. So then moving down to the bottom level, again, things that I don't need to get out very often. So I've got a box here of seconds. So any seconds I slot straight in that box when I'm producing items or when they come to me after they've been manufactured. I slot them in there, and then periodically I'll have a second sale, or I will put together seconds grab bags and things like that. This one's got spare paper bags, and then these 3 boxes are different sizes of envelopes. So when they run low on the shoe rack where I house all my envelopes and boxes, I just restock them onto there. Then this side on the bottom, this box is blank postcards, blank greetings cards, and discs for discbound systems. Again, this box is discs and my badge maker, and then this little tub on the end has got spare wooden easels and string for putting together my mini calendars. These grey boxes are from IKEA, and then these ones again are out of the system from Argos. So this tub has got all my Just 90 planners, all my discbound planners, and this is A5 and A6 notebooks that are in clearance. Then moving up, I have a little mesh box here which has got my sleep masks in, a clear box here which has got my spinner rings in, all the boxes, they need to be put together, and then the black tub on the end just has spare ring boxes in. So as we're moving back towards the middle, it's more stock again. So I just have a water bottle in the background here that's a photo prop, but it's actually a business card holder, but I use it to hold my sticker sheets, and then I can just easily grab them for orders. Another one of these pink tubs here has greetings cards and A5 prints in, and then all my mini prints are kind of packaged up, ready to go in this yellow tub here, and there are also some spares of each design that haven't been packaged yet. I then have a tub for mystery bags, and then these dividers that I made fit nicely in this box, and they have got tab stickers for the discbound notebook systems. And then this set of drawers here was an amazing find. This is from TK Maxx. I did try some different ones off Amazon, but I had trouble finding the right size of drawers. These ones are actually really great because they come with these plastic dividers. If you can see, there's one here, and they pull out, and there's a space to either put them there or put them there, or both, so you can separate it into 1, 2, or 3 sections basically. I haven't labelled these up yet, but because they're see-through I can actually see what stickers are in there, and I'm using these to house all my die cuts. I am going to move to getting them manufactured moving forward, and so I'm going to move away from having the hanging system, because I usually make my stickers so that there's this hanging hole, and then I used to hang them on a big pegboard display, which I would also take to events. But if I'm going to move to having these manufactured, I don't think I'm going to be able to have these kind of holes cut in. And also I have more large standing displays at events now, so there probably isn't going to be room for my sticker one. And so yeah, I'm going to move to getting these manufactured and store them in these drawers. I just have a couple of spare empty yellow tubs, and then on the top shelves I have my spare tissue paper, and then the top 2 shelves have simply got spare storage tubs in at the moment, of different sizes that I may need as I'm getting used to things, or I might need them in the house, but they're going to stay up there for now. So moving on to the next set of shelves, I'll start from top down. This yellow tub I found in TK Maxx. I thought it was super cute, so I grabbed that, and it's just got tote bags and things for taking orders to the post office, and then just my little watering can for watering my plants in here. I have my silhouette and silhouette mats, and then a little filming tripod and light, and my Blue Yeti microphone that I use for my podcast and some of my videos. I then had 3 sets of these clear acrylic drawers, and so I decided to use them to house materials that I use for making products but I don't use as often. So I have a whole bunch of different types of photo papers in here. Then I've got vellum, sticker release paper for making sticker books. I've got acetate for making my planner and notebook covers. I've got spare label paper and then crafts cardstock and black cardstock that I sometimes use for dividers or other projects. And then right now it's not doing anything, but I have this A5 storage tub, which I believe is from the Grumpy Tortoise, and you can get drawers for them as well, so that you can have a bunch of them that kind of slide in and out. So I've just popped it on the end there because I often use it for organising different things. It's just not being used at the moment. So on the next shelf down, I've got a little index storage box that I have at some points used for organising mini sticker sheets and also die cuts, but it's not being used at the moment. I've got my disc bound punch, that is a classic size Happy Planner punch, and then I've got these 2 magazine files. These were from Paper Chase, so you probably can't get these now, and then just a bunch of empty files that aren't in use at the moment. And then on the end I've just got lever arch files that are cute in my colours for housing all my receipts. When I do my accounts, I try and do it every month. I'm not going to pretend that that actually gets done, but I keep a paper record of all my receipts. I find for me it's just easier to print everything off and then organise it and make sure that I've got everything in my accounts. And so that's the only thing that I keep a paper record of really, and they just live here on this shelf. Then I have a kind of really narrow shelf which has got my laminator and laminating pouches on. And then this shelf below has got my Cricut machine, my Cricut pens, and then this box here, again from that Argos system, has got all my other Cricut supplies in. So it's got vinyl, sublimation paper, Cricut blanks, I've got my mini heat press in there, I've got some leather in here that I've used for projects, all sorts of stuff in there, and then my Cricut mats on the end. I'm not doing as much cutting now if I'm going to get my stickers manufactured, so I'm planning on just getting the machines out as and when I use them rather than having them out permanently, but we'll see how that goes. And then on the bottom I've just got 3 more of these IKEA boxes. 2 of them have got, they say events and shops, and so basically what they've got in there is anything like display stands, my card reader, anything that I would need to set up a display in a shop or to set up a stall at an event or a market. They are split between those 2, and then this one here is my paper carrier bags that I take to events, or sometimes I use them for things like goodie bags, things like that. Onto the last lot of shelves in this row, and this is one of the half width, so the other ones were 1 metre wide, this one's 50 centimetres wide, and this is the start of my craft supplies really. So on these 2 shelves I've got all different craft kits and kind of projects to be completed. There are many of those. And then I've got other areas kind of organised by craft. So this is all painting. I've got some scroller box subscription boxes that I haven't actually done yet. This little tub here from IKEA has got A5 or smaller kind of watercolour paper, art papers, things like that. And then sketch pads and paper pads here again, and also some colouring books, a painting book, some lettering books, so all kind of paint and arty type things. And then I've got an A3 paper pad at the back. Then the next one up has my sewing machine, and I finally got a new cover for it because the old one was ripped, it was falling apart. It was ripped, so it wasn't even covering the sewing machine on half of it anymore. It was just like the basic one that came with it. So I finally got a proper cover for it, and it's little bees, which I love the design of. And then above that I've just got my sewing books, and this has got cross stitch supplies in it. And then at the very, very top, this box here again is from the Argos system, and it's just got boxes for things like my iPad, my Apple Pencil, like empty boxes for things that I may or may not need in the future, and kind of laptop bags, case for my headphones, stuff like that. I've got my laptop sleeve there, and just a little, it's like a laptop easel at the top for doing painting and things like that. You could put it on the desk. So that's that storage wall. And then kind of running alongside that at a 90-degree angle, I have these two bookcases that I got from Argos, and this is what I previously had for storing my stock on it. So I have had a massive upgrade, which was needed because a lot of my craft stuff was in storage, but also because I've got a lot more different types of products now and bigger products that take up more space. They did come with a backing on them, which I've never put on because I like the fact that you can see through it and it doesn't block off light from the room. So I've just left that as is, but we've attached them together and then attached them to the wall. Something that's a bit tricky about this space, if I show you on this wall, you see how there's a little bit that juts out there, and that's basically to help the structural integrity of the whole cabin. The same kind of here where the desks are, there's a bit that juts out just there. They're all over the place. So I had to kind of take that into account when designing the space, because it's hard when you haven't got a kind of run of wall with nothing interrupted. This wall here is the largest bit of uninterrupted wall that I've got in here, so I really wanted to utilize that, and I kind of designed the rest of the office around it. But then I had the idea, because these shelves are lower and they would fit under the kind of triangle beam there at the top, would they slot there, and could I have them kind of on a 90-degree angle as a bit of a room divider? And I think it's worked really well. So like I said, we just attached them together, and then we've actually drilled them into that bit of wall that juts out, and they're really secure now. They're not going anywhere. Not putting the backs on them made them slightly flimsier, but now we've attached them all together, they're really secure. So some of this is just purely decoration, like the bits I've got on the top here. I framed this stickers on my love language, which was from Pipsticks. And yeah, there's little bits and bobs up here of decor. And then as we move down, it gets a bit more functional. So these shelves hold much more of my stationery and journaling supplies, and yeah, I love how it's all set up on here. So on here, this typewriter I actually got in a charity shop for like £10, and it has been on my list for about 3 years to refurbish it and like clean it up, and then it ended up being in storage and put away for a really long time. So now that it's back out, I want to do that as a project. And then these notebooks here are ones that are either in use or to be used, or very, very pretty ones. So they live there. And then on the end here, I got these little acrylic drawers. If you can see there, that I've got all different paper clips, planner clips in, pins for a pin board. Yeah, these are all planner clips that I've got, and charms and things. So they're all kind of organised and ready to use at any point. Then the next shelf down on this one, this box is from IKEA and it's just got my inks in. This little organiser I got from TK Maxx. They do actually stack, and I have got another one, it's a white one, but right now I'm just using this one. It's got journaling cards in and kind of little pockets and little bits of journaling supplies. And then another one of these pink containers here that has got larger journaling cards in, and kind of plain index cards and things that I would use in my journaling. And then this one here, if I turn around and show you. So this one here, I can't remember where I got this one from, but I'll put it in the description. It opens up and it's basically got 6 of these little containers in. I think they were originally designed to store photographs, but I've got all different kinds of die cuts in mine. So they're all kind of themed. So this is like a vintagey one, and it's full of all different bits of ephemera, die cuts, all different types of decoration in different themes. So they're all organised and they're not just in one big box. I can easily grab what I need. Then moving down, I have some journaling bits and bobs here. Some contain like specific things for specific projects that I want to do. This one, for example, just holds all little bits that I found or ripped out of magazines or little bits of embellishments. And I really like these kind of A4 plastic storage tubs for that you can kind of categorize things and then just easily store them on a shelf. These little drawers have got kind of book rings in, lanyards, and then bigger paper clips and planner clips at the bottom. I've got another one of these Paper Chase magazine files, and this has got kind of A4-ish papers, paper pads, things like that in there. This little envelope at the end, like plastic wallet, has just got larger stencils and things. And then on the end I've got 12 by 12 papers and paper pads. Some of these I use for photo backdrops and others just for scrapbooking and things. And then on the bottom, I just have some scrapbooks, some pen pal letters and postcards. I've got my label maker and spare labels here. And then my caddy that I got from the Southwest Planner Club, which actually has the things in there that I want to use for that journaling spread, but I've got some others to catch up on first. And then if we go to the other side at the bottom, this plastic tub here has planner inserts from previous planners that I want to save. And then this white one here from IKEA has, at the front it's all postcards and bookmarks, but then it goes in size of planner basically, of things that I can reuse for ring bound and disc bound. So for each size there's like dashboards, there's dividers, there's acetates, vellums, there's blank planner inserts that I can use, I've got some clear dividers there, so I've got A6, personal wide and A5 I believe, yeah, this is all A5, and then I made a bunch of these for A5 previously in a video, so they're like double-sided pockets. I think I did a video, I'll try and find it and link it. So I've got all different colours of those. And then yeah, blank pages at the back, and then classic happy planner size. Then this massive basket here is all stuff for the D-stash when I next go to an event, or if I see any planner people that I will hang out with that might like stuff, I will take it, or perhaps do a giveaway at some point. I need to decide, but it's definitely grown as I've sorted through my planner supplies. This little pouch here is kind of like I put all my on-the-go planner supplies if I'm going to meet up with other people and plan elsewhere. And then this tub here has got all different sizes of empty notebooks that are ready to use. So I've got some A5, some Traveller's Notebook ones, some A6 and some pocket size. And then again in one of these little white IKEA tubs, I've got letter writing and cards, like either card blanks, cards to send people, blank postcards. Yeah, anything kind of letter writing, that's a letter writing set as well. And then maybe my favourite shelf is this one, and it's got all my planner covers on in the various sizes. Some have things inside, but most don't. They are ready to be used at some point, or simply admired on the shelf. There are a couple of Vanderspec ones that I might sell, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But I've got my first ever Happy Planner. I don't use Happy Planner anymore, but I've got my first one there. I've got some A5 Carpe Diems, A5 Traveller's Notebook, got some standard size Traveller's Notebooks, then personal and personal wide, A6, all the way down to like this tiny little pocket Traveller's Notebook, which is one of my faves, that had my name on it. I've got my A6 bullet journal, and then I've got some planner pouches on this end, and this is here because it's my first ever bullet journal from 2017 that I found, and there are some gems in there, and it's inspired me to get bullet journaling again. Then the next shelf up, I've reorganised my washi tape, and I've got these washi drawers. So they're clear drawers, and each one has like 2 dividers in it, so you get 3 rows of washi tape in each one. I've organised them broadly by colour, but this one has specific collections in that go together. So like this was a whole set, this was a whole set, these were a set. There's some other Paper Chase ones at the back. Have 2 coordinating ones there from Oops a Daisy, and then on the bottom, yeah, this was a set from Notebook Therapy, I think. That was a gift. This was also a present off my husband. I'm not sure where he got those. I think they're from Amazon probably. And then, yeah, just some coordinating ones. And then in this little tub here, I've got washi samples, loads of washi samples that people have given me that I wanted to finally put somewhere where I'm going to see them and use them rather than being in a drawer. And then loads of these kind of pet tapes, are they called? Yeah. So I've got those stored in there as well. And then on this end, I've got my sticker books, which are in a state of being reorganised. I will do a video on that process, and it's been ongoing since like forever. So I do have some footage, it'll come eventually, and then some sticker books at the end that I didn't want to split up. And then I've done a bit more sticker organising, which I'm really pleased with. So this black mesh tub here is my original sticker box that I made when I first started my YouTube channel. It was one of my first videos. I probably didn't even have a Cricut then, and I made all these dividers by hand, stuck the tabs on. Half the tabs have fallen off, and I've still got loads of stickers in here in categories. So I've got boxes and flags. These have got all days of the week and dates in, kits and full boxes, and then things like hearts, plants and flowers, animals, stationery, arts and crafts, travel, bows and banners, food and drink, health, seasonal holiday, and then miscellaneous at the back. So I like it, and then there's just a bunch of stuff at the front that needs organising. I like it, but I would prefer to move maybe towards sticker books, which is what I'm in the process of, but we'll see whether a little sticker box of some sort remains. And then these I was really excited about. So these acrylic drawers I got off Amazon. I was actually using them as a washi display in the shop, and then I decided I could use the space better. I got something else and I brought these home. So this is actually 2 sets of drawers, and you can have them this way, or you can flip it and have them like more like the washi drawers. So you've got them long ways like that, if you understand what I mean. It's 2, and I've just attached them together with glue dots. And yeah, if you wanted to turn it round, I don't want to spill the stickers, but because it's a square drawer, you can turn the drawers round. And I've actually emptied a load of my sticker packs into these that had die cuts in. So either they were in cellophane or they were in little cardboard boxes, and I just wasn't using them. And I thought this system, although I haven't labelled these, this system, I can see them, I'm more likely to use them. That's the thought. So this one at the bottom has got all plants and flowers in. So I've got loads of different sets of die cuts, and then I had a whole pack of like trees, different flowers. I've got some larger flower stickers that I've featured in a couple of videos, if you can see. So I can see those now. It prompts me to use them a bit more. The next one up has got animals in, so yeah, all die cuts of different sizes. I've got loads of birds down here, just all different types of animals. This one has got all kind of quotes and self-care phrases, positive words and phrases basically in there. And then the top one has got kind of vintagey looking die cuts. This one here has got my little baubles I made for my advent calendar tracker last year. I don't know if I'll do anything with these this year, but we'll see. And then just some odd Christmas die cuts. That one's a bit of a miscellaneous, if I'm honest. And then these bottom 2 have got character stickers in. So like I have a whole set of these that I bought that I haven't even started using yet. And also I had a giant pack of like 170 character girls that I absolutely love, but again, they were buried at the bottom of a box. So like, yeah, they're all different ones, and I think now I'm more likely to pick one out. I did actually do that last night when I was journaling, so that must show it works a little bit. And then on this side, I just have some craft tools in here and some of my pencils that aren't in the shop anymore, but maybe I should put the last few back in, and some distress inks. And so that's that set of bookshelves. So if we come around the other side, These drawers here I had in my old office setup, old office setup. It's actually 2 sets of drawers from Argos that I've just made into one giant tower. And I love it because I've got all different crafts in here and they're labelled. And so let's say if I'm painting, I can just pull out the paint one and take it over to my desk and I'll have like all my painting supplies together basically. Yeah, I showed putting these together in last week's video, but I've labelled them all. So I've got jewellery making, painting, general crafts, 3 fabric ones and a wool and sewing. So they live there. But this wall can be used for extra storage. I just need to be mindful that there's a door here. I need to get some of the white strips to stick on here to kind of hide the fact that this was the back. That would have had the back on it, which is why it's exposed wood. So I'm just going to get some of the white sticky strips that like finish it off. But I did have a thought that if I needed more storage in the future for products and things, I could get more of these bookcases and kind of do another set here. So I had kind of aisles would be a possibility, because this space is underutilised at the minute really, but that's fine. And then I've got a cupboard in this corner, which I guess is meant to be a toilet if you're actually using this as a summer house. I don't know, but pop the light on, and then in here I have got my display stands that I take to events, my trolley, and some boxes and things I need to sort out, cables for doing cable management on the desks. These clear storage boxes are fab. I use them to take stock to events because they are small enough that when I load them with notepads and stuff, I can still lift them, and then they all stack together. You can put them in all kinds of configurations in the car and things because they're so little, and they store easily under the table. So I absolutely love these, and I've used a few for storage in the office, but the rest of the ones I've got are just in here. And the top one's just got miscellaneous decorations in, like some little pumpkins, some little Christmas jingle bells and things like that. And then I have this set of shelves that, again, I think I got from Argos, and it's just got cardboard boxes in that I have received that I think I might use for wholesale orders, because I don't tend to buy in big boxes and it just means less waste, and bubble wrap and packing paper and things like that I can actually reuse for my own packaging. And this cupboard as well will house my tripods and lights if I wasn't filming, so all kind of the big equipment. And then if I just spin you round, we've just knocked a couple of nails into the wall here to hang up my vinyl banner, because it was getting really creased, and you'll see some of the creases, even though it's been hanging for a while, they haven't fully come out. Folding it up was kind of damaging the banner, so my husband actually came up with that idea. Big shout out, Liam. So 2 nails in the wall just to hang that up, it's out the way, and then I've just hooked my tripod bag over it as well. So next to the cupboard I just have some little bits of decoration. This Hello Sunshine I think was probably from B&M at some point last year. This little print here, affirmations to lift me up. This is actually a printable I designed for my patrons, and we did a live stream together where we came up with our own positive affirmations. It came with blank balloons, so you can still get the blank printable on my Patreon if you're a patron and you want to check it out and do that exercise, and you can watch the live stream back as well, but again I'll link it in the comments below. And then I went ahead and just typed my affirmations out and printed it and framed it, and I love having it up on the wall as a reminder both of my Patreon community and their lovely support, but also these positive affirmations to lift me up when I'm doubting a little bit or feeling a little bit down. I just love having kind of positive art around the place in my office. And then if we kind of come around the corner from there, there's a really odd little bit here. It's got some hooks on the wall that were already there, and then it's got this little window, which means obviously you couldn't really put something there. And then this bit that juts out, there's like a tiny little shelf, and then underneath it's just blank, and I haven't got a use for it at the minute. Again, it could become more storage, but right now I had a load of cushions, blankets, a beanbag in here, and I threw them on the floor while I was sorting out. And when my dog Maggie's in here with me, she loves snuggling in this corner, so I've just left it on the floor for her. So this has become Maggie's corner. Might get a little sign made. And she loves the little pink beanbag. She loves like soft fluffy cushions and blankets, so she kind of has a dig around in there and makes herself comfortable, and you'll usually see a dog toy or two on the floor that I trip over. The last couple of days I've grabbed this tower fan because it is all windows along the front and side. On a hot day, it gets very hot in here, and it's a little bit like working in a greenhouse. I usually leave the doors open on a hot day. Today's the first day in here where I've actually had the doors closed. It was really lovely to have this fan on and get the air circulating. And the reason that I also love it is because if I don't open the doors in here early, it gets very hot and sweaty in here when the sun's been on it. However, you can hook this up to an app on your phone, and so if I'm not going to be in here till later, before I come in, I can use the app on my phone to turn it on and get a bit of cool air circulating before I come in, so that I don't come into a really hot, stifling room. So I think that's pretty cool. Did want a white one, but I went for having a more effective fan over a pretty fan, which I'm quite proud of. And then where I definitely chose pretty was in my lovely yellow couch, which was from B&Q. And I absolutely love the pop of yellow against the white wall. And it's a space where I sit and do any work on my phone, like Instagrams, TikToks, answering messages. I will sit here and draw. If I'm designing things on my iPad, I'll do that here. And you'll often find Maggie in this corner looking out the window because she likes assessing what's going on out there. So it's a really lovely space. And then I've just got this side table, which I had from my old office setup. This is from Next. It's like a light pink with a gold base. This pink lamp is from Maxx. All of the frames in here I actually found in charity shops. I always look for picture frames in charity shops because you can usually get them between like 50p and £2 max, and I always think it's a great thing to keep an eye out for. Even if you are buying something and you don't necessarily like what's in the frame, you can reuse the frames, and it's a really cheap way of getting frames. So in this one, I've got this little postcard from my green cow that says, "Expect nothing, appreciate everything," and it's a lovely kind of gratitude based saying with these lovely floral illustrations and a little pop of yellow again. So I think I actually found that on a de-stash table at an event when I put some stuff down for swaps, but I will find it and link it if it's still available. And then we've just got my yellow couch. And then the last thing to show you is this centre section really, which is kind of where the bulk of the sit down admin work happens. All designing, writing, video editing, filming top-down videos, anything and everything except for packaging and product production happens in this centre section. And I wanted a big section for two reasons. Well, firstly, obviously I've got the space for it, but secondly, I like doing crafts, and I like doing crafts with other people. So quite often me and my mum will try different crafts, or we'll each be doing something different but sit together and have a chat. And so I thought it'd be a nice place where we can hang out. And so I've got two chairs in here, which are this is my current office chair and then my previous office chair. And also it means that I can kind of have different stations for different things and not have to clear everything off my desk to do a task. I can have different things going on at the same time. Not everyone has that luxury, and I'm well aware of that because it wasn't that long ago that I was living and working in one room in my bedroom. But because I've got the space, I wanted to utilise it as best I could to make things really efficient. Again, please ignore the cables, they haven't been done yet. So this is my main desk where I get stuff done, and it's nice that I can kind of leave this up and have other spaces. And I've just tucked this rolling cart down the side here. I haven't utilised the bottom two shelves yet, but I've got a little board to go on the top one so that I can use it for extra storage, so that I can keep some of this desktop clear, because I don't like a really cluttered desktop, but I also like to have lots of things around. This rolling cart is really good, and I sometimes take it to events because it folds up. So I will link that below. And then the board on the top I actually got from Hobbycraft. It fits this trolley as well. So I'll show you what's on here first. So this pink desk organizer is from Amazon. It's got a little drawer in here where I've got like bulldog clips and things. Then I've got space for my post-its, and then my visual timer, which I've shown in other videos, but I will like set myself a length of time to do a task and pop it on my desk, and it'll kind of keep me accountable for that. It keeps me motivated whilst also not letting me lose track of time. So if I say, right now I'm going to set myself 45 minutes to do whatever it is, then I set my timer and I find I'm really more focused within that time. Then I have got some of my pens, correction tapes, some more of my frequently used pens that are more decorative over here. I've got some bullet journaling stencils and then notebooks and journals that I'm currently using. Yes, this is a Christmas one, but I just wanted to finish it and it's nearly finished. And then I've got this little magazine file here. It's like a dusky pink, it's metal. And I've got a book in here that I've just bought that I want to start. It's 365 days of feel-good art, and it gives you like a little challenge each day. Then I've just got a larger notebook that I use, some receipts, and these are all notes I need to do something with, like put them on my Notion. I came across them when I was sorting out. And then I've just got my little key ring from the Southwest Planner Club meet. And then moving round to my desk, this pink keyboard is super pretty. I got it off Amazon. Wires annoy me in general. I try and go for wireless things, but with the keyboard, I used to have a wireless keyboard. I think it's a waste to keep putting batteries in them, and it running out all the time was a pain in the bum. And then I was finding that I had to plug it in anyway to charge it, so what was the point? So the keyboard is wired. It's like, makes a nice satisfying sound like a typewriter would. And it has this little phone stand here, well, for like a phone or tablet. And I like that it's got this little knob here, does the volume if I'm listening to something, or I can quickly mute it if I get a phone call. So yeah, I just wanted a pretty keyboard because I knew I needed a new one because my old one broke. So that's been really cool. I've got this little rotating pen pot here that I actually bought to do a lucky dip at a market, but I've got different categories of pens in here that I use a lot. So like it's got 6 slots, and I like that I can kind of group like things together and find them easier. So I've got these like refillable ink pens that I use a lot of different colours. These are dot markers. These are all cutting tools, which again, I really like it because I've got a lot of these craft tools that are actually blades, but they look like pens, and I can never remember what's a pen and what's a cutting tool. And also my craft knife, fountain pens, correction tape, fine liners. So that lives at the back. Then I've got one of my mini desk calendars. So this is, they come on a mini easel, and then you've got a card for each month. It's on this lovely linen effect cardstock. They're really pretty, and they each have a little quote on the bottom. This one says, "Don't be busy, be productive." And then you just swap them for the year. So they're in my shop now, 2023 to 2024. If you wanted to grab one of those, got just a little product plug in there. And I just think it adds a little bit of interesting decor to my desk. If I'm in here when it's darker, it's like a little battery operated light, and it just adds a little bit of atmosphere in here, but just generally I think he's cute. So he lives on my desk. Not like that, he doesn't. Let's have him sit down today. There we go. He sits however you want him to sit. And then finally, I have my monitor back. So I used to have this set up, but in my kind of temporary setups before this was ready, I haven't been able to have my monitor set up for quite a while. It's on a monitor arm, which is at the back, which actually means I can completely swing it out of the way if I want to use this desk for something else, or I can actually turn it round and put something on in the background while I'm packaging and whatever. So it's completely kind of flexible. I can move it, I can turn it, I can do what I want with it basically. And it does also go up and down, and it tilts. And I've just got one of my old Patreon wallpapers on there. So every month I release a new set of wallpapers for my patrons for phone and desktop, iPad. So that's a previous one. You are going to bloom even more than you have already. And then on my MacBook I have this month's, which is do something every day that makes you smile, with these cute smiley faces, and I have the matching one on my phone too. So I have my MacBook on this little stand that raises it up, puts the screens both level, means I can utilize both screens, but it also kind of pushes the MacBook back out of the way, because when I've got it like this, I don't use that keyboard anymore. I use the pink one. And I also have a vertical mouse, because I struggle, because of my fibromyalgia, with a lot of pain in my arms and hands, and I find that a vertical mouse is much, much better for me. And these are batteries. I just put rechargeable batteries in them so that I'm not wasting batteries all the time, and I find that a lot easier to use. And it just means that when I'm actually sat at my desk, I can have a proper desktop setup rather than just feeling like I'm on a laptop kind of thing. And then underneath I've just got bits and bobs. So I've got my little Meep off Vic's Washy Wizardry, if you're watching Vic. I've got my little Meep on my desk, remote for my fan, and then this little it's like a little fried egg dish that I made out of air dry clay. Has just got some little bits and bobs in, and my camera batteries are charging at the moment. So that is my desk setup really. And so kind of between having the things off to the side and the screens, the keyboard and things, it's really comfortable to use. And then I've just got a footrest underneath. And please, again, ignore cable mess. And before I leave my desk setup, I want to show you that I have these sun catchers. This round one here that says Happy Days Ahead, I made it at the Southwest Planner Club event with Linda from the Grumpy Tortoise. And then, I don't know if they're going to show up, but there's 3 little flowers around it, which are... There you go, can you see that? They're sun catchers too. And it's not going to do it today because it's a very grey, overcast day. But when it's a nice day, they shine little rainbows across here on my stand and on my desk. So I will link those sun catchers because they're really pretty. And then underneath the next desk, I have this little set of Alex drawers, so it's right next to me when I'm working, and this has got all sorts in it. If you watched the video last week, you will have seen me spending ages trying to organise these drawers. So, like I said, big fan of containers. So everything's kind of organised into categories. Some are these little felt containers that I found in TK Maxx in a big set for, it was like a set of all different sizes, maybe 9 of them for £3 or something. These little plastic ones are from B&M, and they stack, I believe. Do they? Stackable, yeah, they're stackable. So you can actually have a load of them and stack them. I haven't got them stacked in here, but this has just got kind of less used stationery in. My most used stuff is out on my desk, but this has got markers that are like double line markers that I got, like fancy things for journaling, and then it's got some spare like glitter gel pens I need to put ink in. This is all fine liners, correction tape, lip balm, and then at the back there is permanent markers, pencils, and then like spare ballpoint pens. And then these organisers down the side, I've got my most used washies that I use every week from Oops-a-Daisy, the dates and the days of the week. A little lip balm. This one's got all my memory cards in, for some reason a hair bubble, and my memory card reader for my computer. I've got my AirPods, I've got a little candle, and some spare tips for my Apple Pencil, and then just my ruler down the side because I'm forever measuring things. There's something about organised drawers that just fills me with joy. So I hope you're getting the same joy. In the back one, I've got highlighters. This is all sticky notes, memo pads, page flags, post-it notes, rubber bands. What's this? Those little scrapey tools for vinyl. And then a refill for my tape runner, stapler, hole punch, and then all USBs. This drawer, less organised, but it usually has in my big iPad for, this video is a thief's dream, isn't it? Usually has in my big iPad that I use for drawing, but that's in the house right now. It's got my big headphones, and then this little tub here is like my most used cables, like my phone charger, my external hard drive, my battery charger and spare batteries go in there if they're not on charge. And so that's where I grab for my equipment. These stackable trays I also found in B&M, and I thought they were a really cool find. They're sort of A5 size, to be honest, and they just slot together like that. So you could have them on a shelf, on a desk or whatever. And so I have these all organised. So I've got coloured pencils in that one. Then I've got my Crayola Super Tips and assorted markers. I've got some Papermate flares in there. And what are these ones? Staedtler Tri-Plus colour markers. I've got all my Stabilo fine liners in this bottom one. And then mild liners and brush pens in this one. That's not all of them, because I do have some colours in the house that I'm doing a journaling project. And then in the back, I put the things I don't use as often. So I've got tape refills and whiteboard markers. And then this one is like paint pens, art pens. I've got my palette pen in there, proper drawing pencils, not just like, you know, everyday pencils. So I don't know if that's the best use of the drawer, but I like the fact that I could fit like 6 trays in there and be able to pull them out as I needed them. And then I've just got a single hole punch in there because I had nowhere else to put it. And then the bottom one, these little containers are from IKEA, these drawer organisers, and I've got printer inks in this one. This one has random things really, hard drives, paper for my sprocket, my pencil case. This one has a spare mouse and miscellaneous cables for like my printer, adapters, etc. They're just general plugs and cables and a broken sprocket. So that's those drawers, and everything's kind of on hand at the side of me when I'm working. If we go to the end, what I did with this was I got 2 1-metre desks and they're 60 wide, so I got a 120 at the bottom so that it makes like a full rectangle, if that makes sense, doing some maths. So if we come round, this is my printing station on the end. Whether I will keep 2 printers, I don't know, because now I'm having a lot more products manufactured. I kind of don't need to have the printers running at the same time. There was a time where I had like 3 printers running at once. I have got rid of one. The only reason I ended up with a third is because these 2 Canon ones both broke at the same time and needed to go off for a pair, and I was without them for ages. So I got another Epson one, which I've since sold, and I've just got my 2 Canons, but whether or not I really need them both, you know, I don't really know if I do now. But is it good to have a backup in case I have the same situation? Because I did go through a span where I was sending printers off for repair quite frequently. So yeah, I'll have a think about that. Because push comes to shove, my husband does have a printer in the house. Anyway, this isn't information you need to worry about. Both printers are EcoTank printers because they are so much more cost effective on ink. So instead of cartridges, they have these refillable ink tanks. So the ink you saw in my drawers, it comes in little bottles, and basically, if I lift this up, you lift this up, and then like that's where you put the blue, pink and yellow, or cyan, magenta, yellow, as they should be called. I've just realised they're my colours. The yellow always gets hammered, and then a massive tank for black ink, and it's really rare that I have to refill them, to be honest. They are really cost effective on ink, and it's been so much better for me to pay the extra, because these printers are slightly more expensive when you buy them than the ones that come with cartridges, but the money you save over time is insane. So I would definitely recommend getting a printer with refillable ink tanks, even if it's not a Canon one, but I will link these in the description. This one is the second one I got because it does A5 printing double-sided automatically, so I can leave it to print all my Just 90 planners and it'll do both sides. I don't have to manually faff about, so that saves a lot of time, and it also prints wirelessly, and so I don't have to have cables trailing backwards and forwards. I'm running out of plug sockets, etc. So that's really great. This one is the first one I got. Just a slightly smaller one, doesn't have a screen, but again, it's brilliant quality. I just have to do the double-sided myself. This one I'm having a bit of trouble hooking up to the Wi-Fi since I came in here, and so I am having to use a cable. So I'm leaving this as my backup one, but I'm sure I would be able to sort it out because I've always printed wirelessly with it before. But you can just use the cables. So both of these Canon printers I've used for producing planner inserts, for printing stickers and prints, all sorts, and they print absolutely amazing quality. And then on the left side, I've just got my thermal label printer, which I actually bought off one of my patrons secondhand because they weren't using it for their business anymore. So thank you, Teresa, if you're watching. And it's one of the Rollo thermal printers. They're really good, and you can use all kinds of different labels with it. And then I just got one of the Mum Bin label trays. So you put your stack of labels, they come like this, and it just feeds them through. Or there is a bar that goes across here, and I've got various stickers that I will print on using my thermal printer, and you put the roll on there and it just feeds them through. So it's really good because you don't need to put ink in this. It's just a thermal printer, so I use it for all my shipping labels, for labelling mystery bags, producing stickers to go on packaging and things. It saves a lot of money over having them printed. So again, I'll link those. And then underneath these, I have these transparent drawers. These are A4 drawers that I got from Hobbycraft. They are actually really tall, so they will fit under a standing desk, but I have shortened these, and the spare drawers at the moment are in the garage, but I can use them as another stack of drawers. It just won't have a top on is the only thing, but that doesn't necessarily matter, and I've done that before. So I'm a big fan of having things right where you're going to need them. So this has got my most used printer paper in, basically. So this is my best A4 printer paper, and the paper that I cut to size for my planner inserts is 120 GSM. So that's all the stock I've got of that. And then underneath, that is some spare. But I've got the next two drawers are this paper cut down to insert size for the various planner insert sizes that I sell. So in this one, I've got A6, personal, and personal wide and B5 that I did for somebody. And then in this one, I've got, oh no, sorry, that's personal wide and A5. And usually there's classic happy planner as well, but I've run out. So any stock that I've got just gets put in there. I'll cut a bunch in one go. Then the next one has my matte vinyl sticker paper, and I just know when they're running low, I'll order some more. This one has my plain cardstock in. And this one has my linen cardstock that I use for the desk calendars. And then in the second one, I've got self-adhesive laminate that actually doesn't need to be here, but I use it for either laminating stickers or creating laminated tabs to go over the tabs on my planners. Sometimes those don't need to be there. Then I've got A4 label paper, and then just not so great quality paper for printing receipts and things like that, or packing slips, and I tend to reuse them. So you'll see, like, this one has got the end of an order on it, just says thanks for your order. I'll turn that over and use it again to print another lot of orders on. So there we go. Some of the paper in that drawer has already been printed on one side, and I'll just reuse it so that I get the most use out of it before it gets recycled. And then these top three drawers have camera equipment in that I grab when I'm filming on the go around the office, and this one is all stuff. It's like my lapel mic, cables for my Yeti mic. This one is cables for my camera, so to set up for the live stream, I've got a little Bluetooth remote in there. Then the top one is things for tripods, so I've got various phone mounts in here. I've got my handheld tripod, like my little desktop one. I tend to, there we go, dot that about the office or kind of hold it as I'm filming because it produces more stable footage. And then I've got these, which I'll show you in a sec and explain what they're for. But As with everything in my office, I've been through with my label maker and printed the labels for them so I know what everything is at easy glance. And then we are round to the last two desks on this side. So if I start at the end, this pink and white chair is from Argos. It's super comfy, and so I use that when I'm sitting this side or as a second chair for people. This beast of a paper cutter is what I use to cut all of my planner inserts. Basically, most things I'm cutting, you can cut absolutely tons in one go. This comes down, and this is where you slide the paper in, and this guard just protects your fingers from the blade. If I take it off, which I don't recommend you do, you can see this crank, hopefully, is lifting this up here. So what you do is you put your paper in there, you crank this down until your paper is secure, and then you press this button and bring the blade down, and there's a massive great blade there that will cut through like a whole ream of paper. So when I'm cutting down paper for my planner inserts and things, I don't have to do like 3 sheets at a time. I can do like the whole ream of paper and quickly split it into A5, for example. Or if I've got notebooks and I'm trimming them down, whatever it is, it has been a godsend just for speeding things up, really. Put the guard back on before I forget, but it is super heavy, so being able to keep it in one place is really good because I struggle to lift it, and it's got really precise measurements on. If you can see here, it's got super precise measurements on, and then this guide, you unscrew it, you slide it to wherever you need it to be, you screw it in, you put your paper up against there. So it's like a real industrial paper cutter, and it's been really, really handy. And then this last desk, I've been using for filming and photography. I love the fact, again, that these are adjustable height desks, because last night I was sitting filming a video and I've had it at this height, but this afternoon I'm going to be doing some product photography, and I'll probably raise it so that I'm not hurting my back when I'm trying to position items and bend over to take pictures and stuff. But I also want to use it for filming and photography because I have this arm permanently attached on the back. I saw this in Anna from Planner Face's studio tour, and I absolutely went and bought it. So it's the Elgato Flexi Stand arm, I believe it's called, but again I will link it below. I ordered it in 2 parts, so this is one part and then this is another part. Ignore that bit on the end because that's separate. I will come to that in a sec. But basically it can go up and down, like you can adjust these to get it any height you want, and then all of these ball joints, you can basically like angle it wherever you need to. So I could put that one there, I could put, so like they separate like this, then you've got the kind of ball end, and then that's what these were in the drawer, was extra attachments for it. So I can then screw these on. I don't know specifically why this would be a configuration you can have it in, but you can see, for example, I can make it go in all directions by just adjusting the ball joints. And then what I've got on the end is a quick release plate. So I have these on all my tripods so that when I'm filming, I can take my camera and quickly switch it between different tripods without having to keep unscrewing it off the end. So I'll show you what I mean. So this phone mount, for example, has what is on my camera right now. So you just unscrew it. So it's like this, and all cameras and tripods and things have this little screw hole. So I just screw it into the bottom of my camera or my mount, flatten that, and then what you do is just push it on, and that's it. There's no faffing about. And then to get it off, I just release it like that, and then maybe I'll put it on my handheld tripod, maybe I'll put it on my big tripod that I'm using now. So I find them so useful. So for example, I might do a setup like this where I've then got my phone there in that mount, and I'm sitting here and packing orders, and you can see what I'm doing. You can see me as well as the orders. So it's a really, really sturdy tripod. A lot of the desktop tripods can be quite flimsy and kind of wobble when you're filming, but this arm is solid, and you can get different attachments for it. So like, you can get something that comes out to the side here that you can attach a light to, and just all sorts. So I will link them in the description, as well as the quick release clamps. I can't remember what they're called, but I'll link them in the description. And then this handy little light I just got from, this is an Elgato one as well, and it is rechargeable, and you just up or down the brightness on the side. There is also an app, but I haven't used it. It's actually magnetic, so you can put it against something metal to hold it up, or I'll turn it off. Or it has a screw mount in there, so I could use it on my tripod, the same as a camera, or you can simply just like position it different places. I like that it's really portable, so when I'm filming on my desk, I've not got to try and figure out where I'm going to put a massive great light. So that is a new purchase, and I'm really pleased with the quality of the light considering how small it is. And I probably will end up getting a little sort of clamp for it to attach it to this arm. And then I think you've seen it all. So I am extremely pooped now after a lot of talking, showing you around my office. I don't normally talk that much in a day, given that I'm here on my own usually, but I'm really glad that I was able to give a kind of in-depth look at how I've organised things, why I've done it in a particular way in this space, and just in general for ease of use and things. I hope you found some inspiration if you're looking to reorganise or set up an office or studio space, or look at how you store your planner and craft supplies, or even if you just get a buzz of seeing behind the scenes of where people work and a little bit of how different materials can be organised. I hope that you've enjoyed it. So please like and comment if you did. Let me know what your favourite part of the office is in the comments, or anything you particularly liked seeing, and I will enjoy reading through those. Like I said, I'm going to leave everything linked down below, but if you've got any questions on anything, just give me a shout, drop me a message. Next week I will be back with an unboxing video, which is very exciting. I haven't done an unboxing video in a while, so I'm going to be unboxing some planner goodies. So make sure you're subscribed and come back next week to see that, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye everyone.